What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Cigars and Everything Else podcast, episode 36. And in today's episode, we got some numbers to go over here. What do we got, D? I'm unprepared. I can't think of nobody with 36 off the head. Yeah.
It was not easy to find. I'm gonna let you know that straight up. But I did find some notables. Rasheed Wallace wore 36 for a few years with the Pistons.
He did, didn't he? That's why I forgot. That's why I forgot.
It was during the Piston years.
It was during the Piston years, man. You know, I forgot.
Yeah, he came in at 30 when they won the ship, but then switched over to 36 for like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah, nah, it can't be the She Show.
Then it can't be the She Show. Come on, man. Ball don't lie.
Hey, man, I love
Cigars don't lie. Cigars don't lie.
But nah, not that era, not that number. We missed them on the 30 episode.
maybe the Portland number. Maybe we go with that one.
Yeah.
We got Jerome Bettis. The bus.
I ain't mad at Jerome.
You know what I'm saying? We can go that route. And I think that's all I had.
All right, I think that's Jerome Bettis it is. This is Jerome Bettis,
legend, the bus. Hey, but guess what? Guess where he from? He played for the Steelers, but where's he from? Where's his hometown?
I don't know. All I know is he from. All I know is who he played for. I don't know his history. I don't know the man's history.
He's from Detroit, hometown Detroit.
Is that where he lived at?
I can't say where he was born. I don't know where the man was born. I wasn't there, but he's from Detroit. Exactly. He claimed Detroit is home.
No, he don't.
Yeah, we give it to the bus. Let's give it to the bus, man.
Man. That man from Pittsburgh, born and raised, man. I don't want to hear it. Hey, look, man.
Home is where the heart is.
Yeah, exactly. Pittsburgh. So anyway, man, this is episode 36. No celebrities this episode. Hey, my name's Jared. Denzel's the co-host, man. We're going to go ahead and get into some cigars and a little bit of everything else, man. Let's jump right into the stars of the show, which will be, of course, cigars.
Cigars. Yes, sir.
All right.
So what you got today, man?
I got a Padron from the 3000 from the 1000 series. I got the 3000.
Okay. Okay.
Got that good Maduro wrapper. Is handmade, and you can look at it and tell that it's.
You can tell it's handmade, hand rolled. Yeah, man.
Yeah. And I like that. I like the fact that I can tell you didn't try to play me on some manufactured stuff that just, I see the human to it. So I'm into that. It is Nicaraguan through and through. So that's all the specs on it that you need to know. We got a Nicaraguan stick.
All the way through. Nice, man.
Yes, sir.
And for people who might sleep on hand-rolled cigars, man, if you are a cigar lover, cigar enthusiast, and if you haven't been to a shop and seen some cigars get hand-rolled, man, this is like one of the most beautiful processes to watch. You know, while I was down in Tampa, I actually went by one of the spots, La Ferrona, I think it is, down there in Ybor City. They got the guys in there hand rolling the cigars, and they are moving, killing it, getting it done, but then putting so much love in those sticks that they're, you know what I'm saying, building together. It's a great experience. If you haven't been in a room watching your cigars get hand rolled, I highly recommend it.
Definitely. Oh, I'm pairing that with a little bit of some brown tequila. You know what I'm saying?
Brown tequila, okay.
Some rocks.
I like it. All right, so with me today, I'm going with going back to Deadwood, man. Deadwood series. Okay. So I've been holding on to this one for a while, waiting to double back to get to it. And we're at the Leather Rose. So we had the Fat Bottom Betty. We've had Sweet Jane. We've had Crazy Alice. And now we're at the Leather Rose. So we're going to give this one a shot, see how it goes. Quick little tidbit about the cigar. Nicaragua origin, Brazilian Maduro wrapper. The binder is Indonesian, for those who don't know. And this one is supposed to be more on the spicy side. I know the last cigar that I had was spicy Davidoff. which wasn't bad at all. Loved it. So let's see how Drew Estate handles a spicy flavor cigar.
Yeah, and it's Indonesian wrapper is what you say, huh?
Binder, the binder.
Binder's Indonesian. Man,
yeah, so binder Indonesian, filler Nicaraguan, and wrappers Brazilian.
You never hear that country Indonesia get thrown out there. So
yeah. So Brazilian on the wrapper, binders Indonesian, filler Nicaraguan. So we got a mixed bag going here. So should be fun. Should be fun.
Yeah, you got a very interesting combination. We gonna see though. All
right, got the torpedo in. Boom, right there, going with the straight cut.
All right,
keep it nice and easy, nice and simple.
Nice punch for y'all. We going matches.
I wanted to go match, but I left my matches upstairs. Didn't feel like going to go get it. I had my have my lighter handy, so we're just gonna go with the straight lighter, no butane. I am pairing my cigar with a warm apple cider with a splash of pure white Hennessy. Tell you, it's that time of year though, man. That warm apple cider. It's love right now. It's what I need. Getting a little chilly out, some hot apple cider, warm apple cider, does the body right.
Oh, that's right. Did one match, shawty, flake out, or did I strike again? I can't tell.
Almost. Take a couple puffs, see if it's there. One thing I'm gonna say I noticed about
he win again in a nail biter. In a nail biter, I win.
Came close. It was a close one.
Ooh, it was a close one. That we almost went into overtime, but I won. What you say? One thing you came up with now?
I said one thing I'm gonna say so far is just off lighting my stick. I'm getting some very, very nice aroma. Very nice aroma already, just off the toasting my cigar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. No movement. Me too. I'm feeling the same exact experience you are. It's very good aroma. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying that. It's got a creaminess right off the top that I'm noticing on the smoke here. It's a cocoa, that cocoa coffee. More so those notes right there is what I'm picking up on right off the bat. But this is very pleasant. Very pleasant. Feels like a nice casual stick. You know what I'm saying? That you can just
right.
Yeah. Like I can be in a good, happy mood with this right now. I feel like I'm ready to go pull the grill out. You know what I'm saying? On a nice, cool day and smoke this and not feel overwhelmed while I'm doing my thing.
Yeah.
Price point on this is $12.50 also. Now, I'm going to tell you this. Okay. When I was looking up my information to see what origin of the actual tobacco was, I saw some places say that the price point was around as low as $8.50 and up in around $8.50, $9.50 range is what I was seeing. I don't know if my spot cheated me or if these articles were old articles before times change and inflation really started putting everybody's butts, but I want my $3 back if I got cheated.
Could be that. Hey, man, like, that's one thing that really gets under my skin a lot of times, man, when they run these prices up, depending on where you go. That was me back when I was in Georgia. Had this one spot, but it was the best spot in the whole area. Biggest cigar collection or inventory of anywhere else in my vicinity.
Immediate area.
Yeah, my area. Yeah, immediate area. But the prices were always $3-4 higher than if I would have went over to the Alabama side or drove up to where you were at. But man, it's like they were taking advantage of it. It was like, hey, look, I know we got the best. I know we got the inventory.
Right.
So either you're going to drive all the way over to Alabama and go get your sticks, or you're going to just deal with what you got here, and we're going to shoot these prices up. It could be a shot, man.
Could be.
Look at the competition around them.
I'm gonna have to go to some other places. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not gonna do. I'm not gonna go for it now. I went to a different spot than what I normally be going to. my go-to spot. I decided to just pass on it. You know, just like, all right, let's switch some variety to what I'm doing here. You know, and I go by there now. I'm not gonna be no sucker though. You know, just because you think your spot nice. I go to the homie up the street that's a little less nice, but you know, I like his selection.
I mean, honestly, lately, I've been picking up my cigars from a couple of these like little vape shops, tobacco shops, like off in the tuck, right?
Yeah.
And their prices are significantly less. Now, granted, am I losing possibly care of the cigar? Like, is the cigar being taken care of as well as, like, say, you know, a chain that you usually go to? But the prices are right. I'm telling you, the prices are right. They'll be at least $2 cheaper. You know what I'm saying? A $10 stick will run me about $8 somewhere at like one of these little vape shops. So like I'll utilize that as a source from time to time because it's there, and a lot of times it'll be more convenient because it's there like literally right up the street, right across the street from my neighborhood. So it's like, why not? If I need one real quick. So I used to sleep on them, but I do use that as a tool. But then you got to look at, okay, price point versus how well they're taking care of the cigar. That could play a point into it. Like, hey, look, they know what they're doing for their cigars. They're treating their cigars very well. They know you're going to get top-notch quality whenever you do get their cigar versus someone else who might not be caring for the cigar as much. They're going to charge you cheaper.
Mm-hmm. Great point. Because if you don't specialize in it, then you probably ain't got a passion for it the way that we do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A lot of times we always have the question, did we judge this stick fairly, or is it a possibility that something went wrong in the process of it making its way from the manufacturer to us in my hand as the customer or consumer?
Yeah.
So vape shop, I've seen them. I see that they offer. I've never bothered to walk in one to actually see what they have. I just assumed the selection was going to be like
I say try it out
and Black and Miles and stuff. I just didn't think,
Same. I used to think the same. But I went in this spot. They got a nice size humidor. But the thing is, they got cigars all on the floor, cigars over here, a little humidifier machine that don't seem like it's working right. Like you need to kick it every now and then to make sure it's running.
Yeah.
But they got a nice selection. The selection is there. But it's like, I don't know about the care of these cigars. I you know what I'm saying, side eye on that. But they got a lot. I used to think the same thing, like, oh, they just gonna have like little, you know what I'm saying, Black and Miles or whatever, you know what I'm saying, some Swisher Sweets and like little joints pop open the bag, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But nah, they got a legit humidor. Now, is it properly functioning? I can't say for sure.
Hey, well, keep it in mind, for those that get your cigars from those spots, or those who are considering it, think about everything we said before you do it. And once you do it,
for real,
understand that maybe it ain't the cigar, maybe it's the care, it is what it is.
Facts.
Hey, man, let me ask you a question.
Uh-huh.
What's going on in Oakland? What's going on in Oakland, man? Why
you know what's going on. You know what's going on in Oakland. You know what's going on in Oakland. I mean, I haven't seen the full all-out story, like as far as like what's behind the beef. Maybe you can fill me in on that. I just know the action of what happened.
Did you see the clip?
But
they released the footage.
I saw the clip. I did. And wow. But what's the deal behind the beef though, man? Like, where did this energy come from?
I don't know where it come from. I only heard one person really talk about it, and they were saying that they think it's got something to do with them contracts. How Jordan Poole got taken care of on his, and Draymond is about to be up. You know what I'm saying? And they think that that team's gonna end up cleaning house eventually, and Steph gonna be all that's left ultimately. And say it could have been a little player hate. I don't subscribe to that because I don't know. That's the only thing I've heard.
Yeah. Okay. But say that is the case. Like, I can never understand a player get mad at another player for getting their coins. It's up to their agent. However their agent work out the deal. Okay, is Jordan Poole more valuable than Draymond Green? One can argue one or the other because, you know what I'm saying, one's on the way out, one's on the way up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But one's had his particular impact for his team during the time of their championship runs. But when it comes down to it, man, you can't hate on the other man for getting his money. That's the deal he decided to make. He was able to make.
Right.
And if they feel like taking care of it, go talk to the man. The man is cutting the checks. That's the person you want to snuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Ultimately, man, there's a saying that your value is determined by what you can negotiate, not what you're actually worth. You know what I'm saying? Like your worth is determined by your negotiation skills, not what you actually bring to the table, man. So it is what it is, man. Did he snuff him? Did he sucker punch him? That's the question. Because they've been saying he sucker punched him. After you watched the footage, was it a sucker punch?
I wouldn't say it was a sucker punch. Because a sucker punch is maybe like you don't know that tension's coming or tension's brewing. Based on the clip that I saw, Draymond was walking up to him. And I'm pretty sure there's some words that's happened before and probably some words that's happening during the, you know what I'm saying, the confrontation of him making his way over from Jordan Poole, from Draymond Green being on one side of the court, and Jordan Poole being on the other side, and he walks up to him. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure something's coming. You know, and there was a little shove in between. And then Draymond launches in for a punch. You gotta expect that to come. You know what I'm saying? Especially after you shoved him. Jordan Poole shoved him. I don't know if you saw that part.
I did. I'll tell you this. This is my take on it. Because I have a similar take that varies slightly. It was definitely not a sucker punch. You know what I'm saying? You can argue if it was a sucker move or not, but it wasn't a sucker punch whatsoever.
Might have been a sucker move, yeah.
Possibly. I'd have to know what was being said. You could see on camera there was some mouthing back and forth. I don't know what was said.
Right.
I don't know their history prior to that. I don't know if that's fight number 4 or fight number 2 or 1 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how many times they done been at each other's neck behind the scenes. So I don't know their history also. Now, with that being said, what I do see is some mouth going back and forth. Draymond stepped to him and entered his space, like chest to chest. At this point in time, Jordan Poole shoves him off. Perfectly logical thing. You are in my space, brother. You are too close to my space. We got to create some space. He pushed him, stepped back, took a big step back. Draymond came forward and did like the old school Liu Kang, like the jumping punch on Mortal Kombat. He did the jump.
It was an arch rivals punch.
Yeah, he hit with the arch rivals punch, man. It was a jumping punch, but I mean, I can understand why Jordan should have been known that a punch was coming. I can also understand why he wouldn't have expected a punch coming also.
Maybe if we've never come to blows before and we've, you know what I'm saying, shoved each other before, you know what I'm saying, a little elbow, a little nudge or whatever, that's cool, right? We expect that physical contact to happen, basketball or whatever, you know what I'm saying, emotions get high, but I don't expect you to punch me. So by that aspect, okay, I shoved you, but I'm not expecting you to, I'm expecting you maybe to shove me back or maybe wrestle me or something, you know what I'm saying, like you know what I'm saying, grab me up or whatever. I'm saying something like that. Maybe not so much punch me or slap me or whatever. Like, okay, I nudge you, you nudge me. I throw an elbow, you throw an elbow. Those are two different things. So in that aspect, but a sucker punch is more so like if I'm thinking you walking away and then all of a sudden you turn around like we didn't squat something or whatever, or we shook hands and you got a hand behind your back and you come with a punch. And I'm not expecting confrontation.
Yeah.
That's a sucker punch.
That's it. That's a sucker punch. That's definitely it. I don't see you coming. I didn't know you were coming. I didn't know there was a confrontation brewing. Like none of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? You get
or even if we had a confrontation, and we like, all right, I fist bump you or something, like, all right, cool. And I act like I'm about to walk away and I'm gonna turn around and then I snuff you. Like you threw me off guard. Like you got my hands down psychologically.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking, okay, we at a point to where like, all right, whatever, there ain't gonna be no physical contact.
Right. Yeah. Now, so it wasn't a sucker punch because it was the writings was on the wall. There's tension.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
yeah.
But once again, like you said, on the court, that stuff happens all the time. An elbow here, we argue back and forth. You my teammate. We're at practice amongst each other. We got millions on the line at our job. Maybe I'm not thinking that you're gonna react this way. I watch you argue and yell and run your mouth and talk junk all the time and never do nothing. Why would I think today is the day you gonna try me? You know what I'm saying? Because you're doing what you normally do. So I can understand, like, you know what I'm saying? Draymond known for talking junk, but I don't know him for throwing hands or
throwing punches like that.
Yeah. So I can understand why he would think it's a safe ground that we're not fighting. This ain't gonna lead to a fight. I can understand why.
Yeah. It could be a shoving match, and it's gonna stay right there. But let me ask you this. I'm pretty sure back in the 90s, 80s, 70s, you know what I'm saying, punches got thrown. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure. Do you think the 2000s. Whole 2000s, yeah. Do you think this got blown out of proportion because of social media, cameras? We were able to get this footage and put this footage out to millions and billions of people. Whereas back in the 80s, something going on the court during practice, you know what I'm saying, Steve Kerr get into it with MJ, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yes. This got blown out of proportion. Jordan snuffed MJ for getting too many plays ran for him. No, it was Kerr. MJ stole on Steve Kerr because Phil Jackson was calling his number for too many plays, and he got mad and hit him, like took off on him.
Like, we didn't hear about this. We didn't hear about this almost 30 years later.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? So Steve Kerr had a successful coaching career by the time it came out. It came out before the Dynasty documentary came out. The Final Dance, Last Dance came out before that, but the Last Dance touched on it also. But Shaq and Kobe. Shaq took off on Kobe in practice. You know what I'm saying? They
right. You right.
It's not a big deal they had a fight. That's the problem. We so soft nowadays. Everybody's scared of a fight. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we scared of a fight. Like, people, so when a fight happens, it gets blown out of proportion. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's
that's the crazy thing. Like, back when we were kids, man, like a lot of times when you got to a fight, that person you fought with ended up becoming your best friend. You know what I'm saying? We done went the blows, and now all of a sudden we best friends because we got that out. You know what I'm saying? That
respect is built, unless you're dealing with like a weirdo or a lame. But other than that,
true. But those cases happen. Like, fights happen. You know what I'm saying? Brothers fight. It go down. You know what I mean? There's been plenty of times I fought my brothers. Well, they fought me rather. But
man. I don't gotta hate your guts afterwards unless you just did some sucker stuff. You know what I'm saying? But other than that,
yeah.
Like,
fight. Like, so, you gotta read the situation, read the catalyst for it, because there's sometimes, you know what I'm saying, you get in a fight with somebody. Okay, depending on what the catalyst or the fight was, all right, we can't be cool no more. If it's just a heated moment on the court, blah, 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 emotions get to flaring, all right, we can squash this. All right, we be all right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not too emotional after the fact that I can't understand that emotions just flared up. You know what I'm saying? Things happened and got blown out of proportion that we can't go back to being men and be cordial or even be cool again.
Yeah. And I think that's the difference. If we got like a slowly building tension that becomes like a beef that culminates in a fight, then maybe we won't get it out our system. Maybe we'll just kind of keep our distance afterwards. But a flare up on the court, like our tension got the best of emotions ran high, tension got high, and then boom, it exploded and it was over. It's out my system now. Hey, bro, my fault, man. I shouldn't have did that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you should be able to man up and say, hey, man, my fault. Oh, we good, bro. I ain't got no problems with you. That's just something that happened. I'm over that. Let's move forward. Like, and both parties move forward. But we in a society now, man, with a lot of people who scared to fight, and that's why so many people get shot, and that's why it's a big deal to see a fight, you know, because because you don't see them like that no more. Because people ready to pull out a gun instead of taking a behind whooping.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
It ain't self-defense to pull your gun out when somebody giving you them hands
got
one-on-one.
All I got is hands. You gonna put a gun? Okay, all right.
That's
you tough.
not self-defense. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's take your behind whooping and move on. I heard a story. Somebody was telling a story about two pimps that got to fighting, and he said that they got to fighting over one of their girls, man. And this one pimp had the pistol on him, never pulled it out, got his behind toe up by the dude. And afterwards, somebody asked him, he's like, why ain't you pull your pistol out? And he was like, because, hey, that MFer just got the best of me, man. It is what it is. He a bad boy. And he said he got my respect. And they went on by their business. That was it. Like,
yeah. A fist fight done got to turn into a gunfight, especially if only one person got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just man up, step up. If you happen to take that L, you caught that fade. All right, well, it is what it is. You live to see another day. It's like the Friday movie. You'll live to see another day.
Live to see another day. But that's why a situation like this gets blown up. You just everybody's so friendly in this association now. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, everybody's pals. And they actually fought. Oh, they fought. Actually, they didn't fight. He got punched and it looked like they wrestled or everybody jumped in and broke it up.
And it was a wrap. Yeah. As far as what the video showed.
Yeah. So a punch got thrown. Now, he looked like he slept him though. I say that though. I can't tell, you know what I'm saying? But he did drop down like that after that punch. You know what I'm saying? I ain't heard enough about it. It didn't look like that type of punch though, you know, but Draymond a big boy. Who knows?
Yeah. Hands probably heavy.
You are a martial artist, man. Can you really get that much behind a jumping, leaping punch like that?
Yeah, man. You can. Especially if it's done right. You put all that weight behind it. Velocity.
Where does it come from? Your punch is supposed to come from like the power come from your legs. If you jumping, where does the power come from? No. It's an arm punch at that point, ain't it?
You have to translate that power from your legs through your body. Like I used to, from the jump. I used to have this move that I will pull out every now and then. It was a double punch, but I would launch into it. It would be like a lunging double punch.
Yeah.
And to get the power, of course, you're using your hips, and it's coming from your base up to your hips through your shoulders. As long as you get that turn in and into the velocity as you throwing that punch. Now, was his the correct form? No. So did it have as much power as it could have had if he would have executed it correctly? Of course, he's not a martial artist. He's a basketball player who just probably got into a sloppy punch, just motions and whatever. But you can get off on a lunging punch like that. You can get off.
But you gotta follow the same. It's your base, your hips, and your shoulders. It's still the same premise, but
it comes off like a whipping motion. Like if you throw a whip, and you know how a whip comes back and boom. So everything the same thing with your lining of your body. So you're throwing that punch, wow, and you jump into it.
Okay,
it's the same thing, same concept.
Okay. You know, I just was curious, man, you know, because I'm thinking about it. I'm like, man, it look like an arm punch if you just gonna jump and throw a punch. Like
it's all arms. It's just the hand. You know what I'm saying?
You can eat an arm punch, the average person. Like, you know what I'm saying? Unless you got some seriously heavy hands, you know what I'm saying? But the average person gonna eat one of them like a all right, I stand corrected.
Like the Steven Jackson punch, the sliding punch.
That joint look like it hurt though.
He slid in because he slid through. He slid through.
He followed
that punch was coming, kept going.
Yeah, and my man was just all face action. He took the whole thing like he took it like a pie in the face, bro. Like that's why I guess why it looked like that joint hurt, man. But it was a terrible punch, but it was stiff looking.
Well, he lost his footing. I'm sure he didn't mean to slide. It was probably a napkin or some drinks on the floor, and he came through slid, and that slid took him.
Popcorn. It took him right through his target though. He didn't. His arm didn't fold in though. He kept it stiff and straight though. He was going.
He was going for that target.
Yeah. He was trying to go through the other side of my man's head, like,
Mission accomplished.
Boy, he was about to crush dude. Hey man, where we at with these sticks though, man? Enough of these fighting basketball millionaire players and stuff, man. These millionaires
got all
punches.
that money and you still fighting. You got all that money and you still fighting. But yeah, man, Leather Rose, it does have some spice to it. It got some pepper on it. Probably one of the I guess the only one of the Deadwood series I say I got some pepper off of. When I first started puffing it, at the very, very beginning, that pepper was a little heavy. It was, you know what I'm saying? Made me scrounge up on my nose a little bit, I guess. But it burned through it. The pepper kind of dialed back, and that sweet is there still, but not an overbearing sweet. I am trying to pay attention to some leather. Trying to see if the name Leather Rose has anything to do with like a leathery taste on the stick. Not getting too much. It's a little bit present. Maybe because I'm trying to find it. But if I wasn't trying to find it, I wouldn't really detect much leather. But I'm trying to find it, so I am detecting a little bit of leather. But for the most part, a real smooth smoke. Outside that pepper, it handled the pepper nice, came through, burnt in, faded out, and then got to the other natural aspects of the cigar. So pretty good so far. I'm liking it.
Okay. Yeah, for me, this Padron 3000 is pretty much, it's been consistent with what it was when it started off. Just cocoa and like a coffee, a combination of those two. Thick, creamy smoke. And the fact that this is hand rolled combined with the fact that I punched it, I feel like I'm getting a lot of smoke off of it. I am enjoying the aroma. It's kind of like an oily, woody aroma. You know what I'm saying? But I'm enjoying it. Good stick so far. Solid.
Nice. Shout out to Padron. Yeah, don't give Padron enough love, in my opinion. They definitely deserve it. They definitely earn it.
Yeah, they're good brand.
Okay, so I got a question for you. What's up?
Go ahead.
So I was listening to a podcast the other day. And there's some boys in the South, in Atlanta, and they were having this discussion. I already know Diddy, he came out with his conversation about R&B being dead. And these guys are having this conversation about hip-hop being dead. And it reminded me of when Nas said it back in, mid-20s, mid-2006, whatever time it was, early 2000s. And that's because that's when the North had it, and then the South had it. And then hip-hop didn't sound the same. It didn't feel the same. But it resonated with a certain population, and it was big, and it was alive and thriving in that population. And Nas caught a lot of flack for what he said, right? And Diddy's catching a lot of flack for him saying R&B is dead. But these guys, I don't know about their perspective. And I'm trying to draw a correlation from their perspective of them saying hip hop is dead. They say they watched the BET Hip Hop Awards a couple days ago, and it just wasn't it. It wasn't it. And these guys are from Atlanta, and it was like, man, when they went back to the throwback joints, you know what I'm saying, and the Southern bangers that was out back in the early 2000s, and that was the throwback side that they put in when they brought the OGs in, and it was like, yo, that's where it was at. That's where music was music. That's when hip hop was hip hop. And then but these new guys, I don't know what they doing. This ain't hip hop. Hip hop is dead. And these are guys from the South, from Atlanta, saying hip hop is dead. But when the guys from New York were saying hip hop was dead, they caught a lot of flack. Where are you at?
What
in your synopsis?
What's the age demographic on the people from Atlanta? If you had to guess,
he said he was 38. No, he said he was 39. 39.
Okay. So I mean that's our demographic. So I'm not This is the thing. Hip hop's not dead. R&B's not dead. Now, what it is, both of them have taken a back seat in terms of what we the people who are doing it traditionally have taken a back seat in terms of mainstream popularity. It lives on. The people that are continuing to create and do it and doing it at a high level, but they don't get the forefront no more. They're not in the front mainstream, you know. So you're not just going to go turn on your top radio stations from whatever part of the country you in and hear the traditional R&B no more. You're not going to hear the traditional, what you think hip hop no more. Like you're going to hear these hybrid versions of each of them. And that's what's on the mainstream. So this is the interesting thing, right? Boxes are going away, and we're all slowly becoming one box. You know what I'm saying? So how we have everything
talking about gender.
Whether it's gender, they getting rid of that. That's going. You're like, you know what I'm saying? Like it'll be around for the rest of our lifetime, but your children and their children, they trying to get rid of that. That's gone. Gender's gone. Your sexuality's gone. They're gonna keep with your class, because you know we got to keep people divided amongst.
You gotta have classism. You gotta have
classism. Will exist, and they'll probably keep race a little longer too. You know, because they ain't ready to commit us all being together either. But outside of them two, your music, everybody's blending. It's the melting pot thing. Like it's the whole world is becoming America. Cryptocurrency is now making currency become one currency. We're all getting rid of separate categories and we're becoming that one world across the board. So how that affects music is you hear the rappers now, and the rappers is where you get your R&B music from because they singing about love. Now, so that's hip hop, but it ain't traditional hip hop. But traditional
so many hip hop artists are simping now.
Yeah. So the way that you think of it, you can still find your traditional hip hop music, but it ain't gonna be like what's banging on Billboard top 20. You know what I'm saying? Or your traditional R&B ain't gonna make that. You know what I'm saying? But you
I
got
just feel
your
like what's
Caesars
happening,
and you got your Her, and you got all these people. They still doing R&B at a high level.
Yeah. I just feel like, well, I guess when it gets to a point of when things don't feel the same as they once did when it touched you, quick to write it off and say it's dead. Yeah. I guarantee you go to some 12-year-old who's really just coming into music, and it's alive and well with however they receive it. And it's taken me some years. It's taken me over a decade to come to this mind state of acceptance. You know what I'm saying? Because music hasn't sounded like the way I wanted to sound since I was 20-something. You know what I mean? So
17, and 16 for you. 16 for you.
16.
20-something. You ain't like it when you were 20-something. Music ain't sound how you ain't enjoyed music since 1997. So I don't, that was the last year you loved music. Hip hop been dead since 99 for you.
R&B
Who
been
is this
dead.
Nelly on my TV? My Air Force. What? Oh, you've been mad at hip hop for a minute.
Been mad at hip hop since 99.
Yeah.
Yeah, but though, I mean, it's come to that, like, I've evolved though in that aspect. Because I mean, there's a lot of music that I can say I do not like, but I have to be willing to accept it, and I actually try to ingest it a little bit just so I can have some kind of understanding. Who's that dude? My son, he's on Rod Wave. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he's a singer, if he's a rapper, he's a this or that. I don't know what, but my son's into him. So I'm like, let me listen to it. Let me see what it's about. Cause I ain't really heard but 2 songs from him. So let me deep dive into what he does, you know, and come to have a certain kind of respect for his type of art.
He's so sad.
On mostly everything.
He's so sad.
But that's the wave.
I would call him a rapper, but it's not fair to call him a rapper, but it's unfair to call him a singer because
yeah.
people who
but
really are
I guess that's
singers
when you
is
can.
like looking at that like, come on, man, that ain't what I do. But
You're not really singing. Yeah.
it's
So it's like
the genres are
put them.
melding into one. Like,
Mm-hmm. So, but I've come to have some kind of level of understanding, respect. I don't understand. I gotta be your biggest fan, but I can understand where the artist's coming from. I can respect the artists and their art for what they do. Even what's them females? Shoot, what's her name? Glorilla. You know what I
oh,
mean?
she thugging, boy. She
But you do your
thugging.
art. That's your art. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The girls
I might not understand.
The girls is who keeping hip hop alive, truth be told, man. They the only ones traditionally rapping. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can feel how you feel about it, but they the only ones traditionally rapping.
Hey, and not just on the southern scene. Like, we talking about New York rappers, we talking about southern rappers. I don't know too many females on the West Coast doing anything, but they moving. They moving. You know what I'm saying? All up in different styles of hip hop too. They doing their thing.
But they got they bars. They got bars. Like they not that they got bars, but they're spitting bars. Like maybe they're not spitting bars. They're rapping bars. But either way, they're rapping. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're rapping.
Yeah. Their version of it. You know what I'm saying?
They not singing. You know what I'm saying? What's
and that's crazy. No, you're right. The female voices are getting deeper, and the male voices are getting higher.
Yeah,
male voices they singing and high pitch and everything. What's his name? Roddy Ricch and all that. You know what I'm saying?
They falsetto and
do the high pitch falsetto and the female MCs they coming in with the deep voice. Like,
bro, I thought Glorilla. I just found out who she was like a week ago, and I thought she was a guy the whole time. I'm like, who is this guy rapping about working on your man? I'm like, what is this? And then I figured out it was a girl. I was like, oh,
yeah,
this is a girl. She is thugging. Like, did not know, bro.
And not even in the young MA type. Like, by the time you got to understand who young MA was, I thought it was a guy too. But you know, they're two totally different types of artists, and even you had that confusion with her being on that, like being a little, you know what I'm saying, different from Young M.A.
Yeah. But Young M.A. was like more of a traditional gangster rapper, and this girl is more like, you know, down south girl, you know, rapping about stuff.
Still girls,
like, yeah. But what's my man name out there in L.A. Singer.
Blast?
My man we rock with. Blast, yeah. You look at Blast, right? Blast is I would call him an R&B singer, but it feels like rap a little bit. It feels like what everybody else want to do, but he's just really good at it. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's actually
right.
He's actually on key. You know what I'm saying? So
he's singing on key, but then he, you know what I'm saying, got a little flow with it. Yeah. But he's actually on key.
Yeah, unlike the rappers who want to do what he do, but they off key, you know.
Off key. Way off key.
So
they doing it.
But I bunch him in the R&B, but maybe in his world, he's what everybody else is. I don't know. I never listened to an interview from him. He might look at himself as no different than Rod Wave. You know what I'm saying? Like, but Rod Wave singing harder than Blast, but Blast can actually sing versus Rod Wave is. Rod Wave is.
I wonder. Now that you say that, I wonder.
He just sing with more passion. How does he classify himself? You have to wonder. Like,
how do these artists classify? How does Blast classify himself? How does Rod Wave actually classify himself?
But
you know,
Blast like when those lines are like blurred. A Nate Dogg type dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like a Nate Dogg type dude. But what did Nate Dogg classify himself as? Like, he was always classified as a rapper. But was he?
No, I thought he classified himself as a singer.
I don't know what he classified himself as. I know people always called it. I heard people reference him as a rapper. I didn't know what to classify him as.
It's probably because he was the first. Probably because he was the first of his kind in the hip hop
on all gangster tracks
genre. Yeah. But he was, to me, I always looked at him as a singer. Like, greatest vocalist, no, but a singer, yeah. But it's just the fact that he engulfed himself in the hip hop realm, and he didn't step into an R&B category none whatsoever. So it's like, okay, if you had to put him on an award show and present him an award or present him in an award category, you would have to put him in the hip hop category. You know, you would have to.
Best hip hop album, something like that.
Yeah, even if he, with a whole album, you would have to put him in the hip hop category, even though he's singing on all the tracks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was the first of his kind where you had to put him in that. Now, I don't know what to put different categories of these artists anymore. Like, have no idea. No idea.
You know what it is? It's almost like you got to classify artists based on the sound of their music production. So whatever the beat is what I got to classify you as. You know what I'm saying? But what it gets weird is because pop artists have trap beats sometimes. Not gangster
country
trap,
artists
but
got
they
trap
have like
beats.
country artists got trap beats. So they're coming together a little bit where it gets a little hard to read, but the production kind of can steer you a little better than just how they deliver the lines.
Yeah. Who do you
ain't gonna get you there no more.
Who do you put the onus on the most for these lines getting blurred the way they're blurred?
Lil Wayne.
Think Lil Wayne?
Lil Wayne. Yeah, I didn't even hesitate. Lil Wayne.
Really?
Lil Wayne. Without a doubt.
What's up?
Because
you think it's the lollipop started it?
It had a big part of it. Lil Wayne, I go back to this, man. Lil Wayne was the king once upon a time, and he's birthed a lot of these people that you see now. Whether it was Young Thugs and all these people wanted to be him. But they didn't want to be Lil Wayne when he was like claiming to be best rapper alive. They wanted to imitate what they could imitate, which was singing Wayne. And with auto-tune. And that was Lollipop Wayne. That wasn't rap for a minute straight and out-rap everybody on the song. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nobody wanted to be that Lil Wayne.
Wayne is Steph Curry. Steph Curry's Wayne type of situation. You got dudes in the park. I can't jump out the gym. I can't do what Jordan do. I can't be Jordan. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to try to emulate Jordan, but I can emulate Steph. I can work on this jump shot. Okay, I can't bar up and go bar for bar with Jay-Z and Lil Wayne in his prime and Eminem and these guys, but I can make these, you know what I'm saying, melodic tracks and, you know what I'm saying, I can make this sound. I can master that sound.
Yeah.
But I can't master these bars like that. But it sounds cool. It sounds dope. The way Lil Wayne does it sounds dope. So I can aim for that part of what Wayne's doing instead of aiming for these bars that Wayne is throwing out, because that's harder to do. But I can make some, you know what I'm saying, quick notoriety off of doing this.
Yeah, it's that. It's exactly that. And then Wayne doubled back and got Drake. And Wayne tells a story about how when he got Drake, he heard Drake singing on the hook and was like, who was that singing on the hook? They was like, that's him also. Went to him like, hey, is that you singing? He was like, yeah, I mess around with that, but I really don't want to be known. I don't want to do that for real. That's just, he was doing like hooks as placeholders and playing around, you know what I'm saying, to get other people to come sing. And Wayne was like, nah, that's your thing now.
We're going to leave it, yeah.
You leave it. That's your thing now. Start pushing that. So the combination of those two acts is what makes Wayne responsible for it. Now, if you want to be technical, we can blame T-Pain, because T-Pain introduced auto-tune and all the rappers thought, hey, all I need is auto-tune and I can sound good as T-Pain. But T-Pain really could sing and they didn't know that. And so everybody went out trying to imitate T-Pain, but it didn't sound as good. But Wayne, I blame Wayne because Wayne was the biggest artist from that time when they were doing it.
Had the most influence.
Most influence. Second blame is
Wayne and T-Pain made it.
808s and Heartbreaks was big to a group of people. It wasn't big to me, but it was big for a group of people. Wayne and Kanye were the two biggest auto-tune people, because they were the two of the top three artists of the time. You know what I'm saying? The third being T-Pain, but T-Pain once again actually can sing. People just didn't think.
Right. So I would probably lean more so because this is what I would say. It would probably start with T-Pain, because I think Wayne, before T-Pain, Wayne wasn't doing what Wayne started to do before T-Pain came around. So it's just that Wayne took that DNA from T-Pain, took it, multiplied it. Young Thug got it, cycled it, and sent it up some more.
Hold on. You skipped one. Future, then Young Thug. Future, then Young Thug.
Future. Yeah.
That's a big part of these of what's in everybody's DNA too.
And Future, if you think about it, the way I look at it would probably be like a spike chart in the stock market or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you see it go up and then it shoot up some more, then it shoot up some more. And I think that's what it started. Like T-Pain got the ball rolling. Of course, we can look at Ja Rule and 50 Cent, them singing on, you know what I'm saying, singing their hooks and stuff like that. Or Ja Rule singing these songs. Nate
Not
Dogg,
even, because nobody copied them. Nobody wanted to be 50 when 50 was doing it. Nobody wanted to be Ja when he was doing it.
Yeah. Well, 50 became Ja. That's another conversation.
Yeah.
But that's what got the bubble going. Well, rap artists saying, you know what, I can sing my own, I can just do my own singing. And then after T-Pain came in, he was that first spike. Wayne took it, he was that next big green candle. And then, like you said, Future, that next green candle. And then Thugger, that next big green candle. And now we got this baseline. Now we up here. Just like you see a stock go up from one, now it's never going to go back down to that. There's no low. It's just to the moon. And then it might plateau up, from up there. And I think that's where we're at. It's just, we at this plateau from those big spikes between those artists making this happen, just change the trajectory of where music is.
Yeah. And
that's insane. I didn't even think about that.
T-Pain was even mad at Future at once upon a time, and he got people mad at him for speaking on Future. Did you never heard this?
Never heard of it.
T-Pain went on a campaign about how Future was using auto-tune wrong. And that was the one guy he was upset with, how he was using auto-tune. He tried to speak out on it, and they was like, yeah. Like, I don't know why T-Pain got thrown to the wolves so quick, but he, like, people forgot about him and was just like, the hell with him, basically.
I don't know how. I don't know how.
I don't know when people's opinion turned on him. You know what I'm saying? Because he had all these hits
generation based. It's got to be generation based. Yeah, it's got to be generation based to where people just forgot where the origin came from. And we talked about before that reverence towards those artists who paved the way. You know what I'm saying? We don't do that. We don't do that. Like, T-Pain should be heralded for the rest of his life for what he started and where he got the game going. He made it possible for, I'm not going to say non-talented individual artists. I'm going to say artists who might have struggled with talent, be able to say, I can go make a record and I can put this record out and I can get some traction. Without T-Pain doing that, you will have a lot of artists who are employed today. They will be unemployed. They will not have a record. They will not have a hit. They will not be in the industry because that tool of being able to sound good on a record and put a record out. You know
what's funny? T-Pain, I'm gonna give him his flowers now. He is so underrated when it comes to, like you say, he should be heralded. He is so underrated in terms of that because, like you said, he opened the door for, like you said, less talented people to feel like they could do something. But in reality, he should have never been viewed that way. People always downplayed what he did.
He had talent. Yeah, because he had talent.
Every album he put out, he always put out a song without auto-tune on it. From the beginning, he was like, hey, I actually can sing. Here you go. Like, you know what I'm saying? But everybody, it's the auto-tune records was so big. He was using it as seasoning salt. He wasn't using it as the base of the meal. Like, you know what I'm saying? And people misunderstood that. Now, not only that, he wrote all his own records. He produced the majority of all his own records. He was making all them beats himself, writing all the songs from start to finish. The guy can play the keys. You know what I'm saying? He actually was a talented dude, and he was responsible for the sound of an entire era and for countless hits throughout an entire era. Like, when we talk about hit records, like, dominated the radio for a long time. Like, maybe 5 years, but that's a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's a long time.
Yeah,
because when you're dealing with artists who only last for a summer, lasting 5 summers is pretty good. 6 summers, that's pretty decent.
Yeah. So when you look at it from that point of view, man, he just, people always downplay what he did. He never really got his flowers or his credit from people in general. They always thought he was being carried by something that he wasn't being carried by. And I think that's why today he's just overlooked in history. Like they look at him like he was Milli Vanilli or something. This dude was a talented guy. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He just wasn't showing up to the video and, you know what I'm saying, songs already made. Nah, he, from, like you said, from start to finish, creating. You know, like you said, he's just putting the seasoning salt on it. And then not only did he give you the hits that he crafted himself, now, like you said, he gave you a sound for a generation. He created. He still created artists, like I said, who wouldn't have had a career if it wasn't for him. They wouldn't. I just need to make a record that sounds good. I don't have to be able to actually perform this record live. I just need something that's going to go for the radio or something that's going to be streamed. As long as I can make a record in the studio and it sounds good, I can put it out, whether I can actually sound that good or not.
And guess what? T-Pain didn't create auto-tune. Auto-tune existed before T-Pain. That sound was on record before T-Pain.
Yeah.
Madonna used it. Our boy Zap used it. You know what I'm saying? So like, it was something that existed in time. You know what I'm saying? He just that
Jagged Edge we used to use it way back in the day. Jagged Edge was using it like in the 90s.
Talk boxes is nothing new. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like, even the program auto-tune wasn't new when he got to it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that says something when you can make something that exists become the sound. Like, if I start using flangers now, and flangers is being used in songs, every song for the next 10 years after I'm not hot no more, that lets you know.
And flangers been around for decades.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know what I'm saying? So, everybody had a flange on a rack. You know what I'm saying? You can use your flange on the rack from the 80s and 70s. They've been had that. You know what I'm saying?
That speaks volumes, you know? So,
yeah.
I don't know. The man been unnecessarily downplayed, man.
Nah, for real, man. For real.
But close out, hip-hop isn't dead. R&B ain't dead. You nailed it when you said what you said about it's just dead to people who what they love about it is no longer popular. Then it becomes dead.
Right.
But it's still alive. It's alive for somebody. You might not love the context that it's in at this point in time, but it's living. It's more popular than ever. And the artists are making more money than they ever made off of the genre than ever. Yeah. But you can't call them rappers no more. You got to call them hip-hop artists.
Call it something else. Yeah. I just found it funny that I remember when Nas said it. It's like, nah, hip-hop ain't dead. It just lives in the South. Now people are wondering, does hip-hop even live in Atlanta anymore?
Yeah. It lives there, and it lives in Japan, and it lives in Germany. It lives everywhere now. Like, lives in South America. All kind of people doing it.
It lives in Nebraska now.
Lives in Nebraska, Italy, everywhere, all across the globe.
I'm pretty sure there's somebody out in the middle of Nebraska that's getting it in.
Killing it. Yeah, with a corn husk in his hand, but they getting down, man. It's just different, man. It's progressed on.
Yeah.
And it's
accessible for everybody to make it and do it and do something with it. You know, we got to be willing to share the wealth.
If you don't like hip hop, if you don't like what hip hop is now and you saying it's dead, go find your style. It's somebody doing it on Spotify with 10 monthly listeners that's desperate for you to come play they song because they're doing exactly what you into, but you won't do it because you too busy looking for something popular. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go break an artist. Go help break somebody, man. Go support some people, man. Stop complaining about it.
It's out there. However hip hop is that you want into consuming, I'm pretty sure there's somebody who's making it for you.
Yeah, man. Go find a John Doe or a Nag Champa, man. You know, somebody that's hot out here, man.
They out there?
Yeah, bro. Oh, go on, man.
Go find them.
So where we at with these sticks, man?
All right, I'm gonna go first with my rating because we've done the Deadwood series. I'm gonna go ahead and get this one out the way. and say as far as where it rates on the chain of other dead wood, it'll probably be number 3. Crazy Alice was up there. And then Fat Bottom Betty was up there. And I think this will come just above Sweet Jane. Only because I said, I guess Sweet Jane was just too sweet for me. And this one was not as sweet, but not as good as the other one. So I give it a nod for not being overly sweet, but then not as good as the Crazy Alice and the Fat Bottom Betty. Pepper stayed in there, but then, like I said, dial back towards the mid to end of that first third, and we're getting to that last third, that final third now, and it's just the dial back version of the pepper that I had in the very beginning. That leather is there, definitely is there. Like I said, I was trying to pay attention to it, and maybe at the very beginning, was it truly as much as I was thinking, because I was paying attention to it. I can definitely say it is there. Now, as the cigar smoke has aged, it has definitely stood out more. So the leather is there, but not bad. Not a bad leather. Not a leather that puts a bad taste in your mouth. The aroma is top notch. Did good with the spice. Like I said, the spice was there in the beginning, but then fizzled out. Spice was good. They handled the leather well, but the big win for it overall, out of everything, over the flavor, the sweet flavor, is the aroma. The aroma is the big win for this particular stick. So if there's anything in the stick that you don't like, what you will enjoy is the aroma that it creates. So big win on that. So if I have to rate it out of 5, I'm going to give this one a 3.4. Just under 3.5.
Okay. For me, Padron 3000 hand-rolled, handmade cigar, Maduro wrapper, $12.50 for the stick. This particular stick, I'm going to rate it at $12.50. Maybe overpriced. It may be $8.50 where you're at. Be aware. I'm going to rate this at a 3.8 is what I'm going to give it.
Okay.
And I will say this is a good stick for a beginner cigar smoker. This is one that you give your people when they just getting started, because it lacks the complexity for somebody who's been a little more of an experienced smoker. But the things that it does it well. So for me, this particular stick, it stayed exactly the same from beginning to where I'm at now. Me personally, that's not good for me anymore and what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a little more of a ride. I didn't go on enough of a ride for me, which prevented me from going and pushing it into the 4 scale when I'm scoring it. But it did what it did really good. I enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We rate 1 to 5. So anything from a 3 is average. So anything 3 and up is really good. It was close to being a 4. I needed some variation to get it into the 4 range. 3.8 is the score. Like I say, nice creamy smoke. It was just cocoa and coffee through and through. You know what I'm saying? But it was smooth. It was in good aroma. Oily wrapper, but it just didn't change. I just wanted it to change. But, and if it would have changed, I'd have gave it higher. If it gave me one change, it'd have gotten
hit that 4 range.
Hit the 4 because it was a good stick for what it was. But I would definitely say if you're a beginner smoker, or you have a friend that's a novice, suggest this Padron 3000. They'll enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not going to be picking up on a lot of the complexities and nuances of a detailed cigar.
It'll walk them into that experience. Yeah, walk them into the experience.
Most definitely.
Nice. I like it.
All right, y'all. That was the bus episode. Jerome Bettis, episode 36. We appreciate y'all for tuning in, and we'll get with y'all next week. Keep them cigars up.
We out.